Hello, everybody, and welcome to Grady Point Live, right on time. Where's the soundboard?
Oh, fuck.
The one time. The one time.
Oh, fuck, I clicked the wrong thing.
The one time I actually want her to use the soundboard.
The one time you're actually on time.
And want her to use the soundboard. She doesn't use it. That's fine. It's perfect. Absolutely. Okay.
I was typing shit. You went live, like, too fast.
What do you mean? I said we're going live, and I literally do a 5-second countdown. The people who've been on this show know this.
Why do you think I said, oh, fuck, when you said we're going live? It's for a reason.
All right, now, kid.
Jeez, Piper, you had one
All
job.
we have is quality.
Oh, you have no idea. You have no idea. The chat says he said, "Geez, Piper, you had one job." LOL. I mean, would you just wait? Just wait. We ain't even got to the good stuff yet. Before we get to this, with Mulan like wilding out in Hong Kong or something, let's go over some things that happened today.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Fucking cats.
There was a tweet here where it says, type, sex is cool, but have you ever? And let your keyboard finish the sentence and expose you.
Oh, no.
And Piper quote tweeted that.
I went ahead and did
she said, sex is cool, but have you ever tried a few of these dogs that are my son?
That was what my phone did.
Piper, you realize this is predictive text, right? Like it kind of.
Yep. Yeah, I just keep hitting the middle button.
To be fair, in her defense, that just means that she thinks that raising dogs are her babies.
How many times do you think I have to type I don't fuck dogs? So yeah, dogs is gonna be in my predictive text.
Yeah, white women and dogs
Well,
every
I don't know. How
time.
many times do you have to say it?
Edward.
Oh.
Edward.
And that's not even the worst one today, boys and girls. It's not even the worst one. So
Yeah, the other one was bullshit.
the other one, she quote tweeted this, and now because I'm using still old layout of Twitter, it doesn't show the quote and the picture, right? But so I went to the tweet so you can see it. The tweet says, "You will have sex with your 12th pick," and Piper's was this.
Reality is just not fucking being kind to her.
That was my child's picture. God damn it.
Can't believe Piper's fucking dead.
Oh no! Very oh no! R.I.P. Doge. Piper stop. Oh no! Oh, how unfortunate! That's a little too far along the chart.
The chart. Right?
That's another 5 on the chart.
And you don't actually have to do these. I know, but it was funny. Like, because my fucking phone was dunking on me. Circumstance was dunking on me. So I had to share.
The universe is having way too much fun at your expense.
Yeah.
While you posted that pic after seeing one may never know. Like, yeah, you didn't have to. As soon as you saw that was your 12th pick, you're like,
I know, but like I said, it was fucking funny.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you have to do some of this consciously, right? I mean, it's like.
well, when I post it, yeah, when I'm like, wow, that's my fucking 12th pick. All right, fuck it. Like,
These are the rules of the universe.
Failure by winning says, I'm not sure who fate is conspiring against harder, you or the dog.
Oh.
wow, wow.
I mean, holy shit.
He does kind of look like he's got that look on his face that he's seen things. I mean,
He is an emotional support dog.
look at his eyes though. He's looking at it like, I've seen things, man. I've seen things, man.
God damn it.
He's cute though. He's a cute doggy. But it's just, and I like your response. It was just,
Good boy. God damn it.
yeah, well, you know. I mean, and guys, and this is in a 2-hour span. This happened within a 2-hour span.
Yeah. I wanted to do these funny little shits for, like, you know, to laugh. And both times I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, it's not fair.
Just
Yeah, see-
fucking dunks on her.
He has seen
Yeah.
some, he has seen
Fuck your
some
phone.
he has seen some stuff and some things he wouldn't recommend it. Dog does look like he's seen some shit. More like not tonight. I've got a headache.
Wow. Wow.
The dog's face screams, "It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate son." Oh my god. Whew. So Piper,
No, kitty, go away!
and this has been happening all night too.
You don't know, the kittens are starting to be hyper right now. They
What
woke
did,
up
what did-
right before the show.
What did she say earlier, Mike? That kind of made us go, hmm.
Come get your baby!
Come get your baby.
Yes, sister, come get your baby.
Yeah, it's like, huh?
I was not aware that
I-
cats were capable of this.
Mata says that actually that dog looks like he's done with everything. He's throwing his hands up like, nope. I'm out. I'm out. You know, I was going to tell you, Piper. I saw I was in the grocery store yesterday, and I saw a woman who had an emotional support dog.
In the grocery store?
Yeah, it said service dog. You know, so it was
Oh, okay.
officially, you know.
Okay.
And what I thought was interesting is how well these dogs. See that you can always tell when one is trained for it and one who's not, and they just try to put a vest on them and say, "Yeah, this is a support animal." Wink.
Oh no.
But this one you could tell was trained because there was a point where she was go down a little. It was in the fruit and vegetable section, produce, and she was going to go one way, and then she realized she forgot something, and she backed up, and the dog, instead of turning around, backed up with her.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an actual dog then.
Yeah, actual service dog. Yeah, because
Yeah.
he actually actually backed up, and I says, I have only seen dogs back up 1 or 2 times in in real life.
In real life.
Well, you know what I mean, not like in trained situations.
Yeah, it's not natural for them to walk backwards
Yeah,
rather
yeah,
than
For me,
turning
usually
around.
It was when they had those goofy ass like dog shoes on, and they're like walking them backwards and all around, flailing their limbs, trying to get those fucking goofy motherfuckers.
Yeah. It's like why do you hate me? Why did you put these things on my feet?
And it's like, no, dog, I want to take you for a walk, but it's like 150 degrees outside, and we can fry bacon on the goddamn sidewalk. You don't understand. It's
Or
freezing.
transversely, it is like 2
Freezing
degrees
face.
outside. It's one or the other, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. Friggin' cold and salt are hell on a dog's pads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, don't they?
I've got Lobo to where he backs up, but unfortunately he's not doing it like 100% of the time, so he's still got a way to go.
Mm-hmm.
But he is so goofy because when he does the backup thing, he looks fucking confused as shit.
Beep. You get him one of those beepings that beep beep.
Right?
Hey y'all.
I throw myself under the bus for you guys.
Hey y'all, how late am I? Literally 9 minutes late. That's it. You're fine. Because we're on time for once. I know, right? It's hard to believe. And by the way, Josh, I just want to let you know, since you're the stream's technical advisor. Whoa.
Sorry, kitten's in big trouble. Hold on.
So anyway,
Anyway.
ever since I did the readjusted the bit rate, I have not dropped frames.
Nice. Yeah, no more like, oop, there's that spinny circle. Oh no, hope the audience stays.
or the scroll at the top doesn't like it just kind of goes on like. It was so bad last week that Raptro said just put it on this instead of like putting it in slow, put it as fast as you can, and I did, and he said okay, that makes it readable at least. I missed the very start. I've been distracted reading Spider-Man from the start. On issue 6 at the moment, the Lizard is Florida Man incarnate. Lizard is Cab? That's
It all makes sense.
Now we know where Cab's been. Someone call 911. If his giggity is in trouble. Yep. Sign of a good sense of humor. Any BattleTech fans around? Well, that's a random question, but sure. Just gonna let that hang in the air.
Yeah.
Don't y'all like BattleTech, or am I thinking something else?
I am not very familiar with BattleTech. All I know is that I love the fucking Mad Cat, but that's like the basic bitch of if you don't know BattleTech, at least you know the Mad Cat.
At least you know the Mad Cat.
Y'all probably like the offshoots of it, like like the Mech Warrior and shit like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm a fan of the universe. I've never actually sat down and played the like tabletop pen and paper version, but as far as the universe goes, I love the fuck out of it.
I tried looking at the goddamn pen and paper game, and it's just holy shit! It is like you need like 30 pieces of paper for one mech. Ugh.
You're telling me it's too much for you? That's saying
there
something.
There are some things like that, like BattleTech, Shadowrun.
Mm-hmm.
Shadowrun is a fuck of a game to play unless you just say fuck it, we're not having hackers.
Right.
Because otherwise, you could have hackers, and then you can be like, okay, everybody sit and have nice conversation. The DM and the fucking hacker are going to go sit for 2-3 hours, and they're going to hash out their shit, and you guys just eat some snacks. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying it's like reading a Marvel comic?
Yeah.
Because the kitten attack has been solved because I friggin'
You picked him up and you threw him behind you?
no, but
Okay,
believe me, I wanted to, but
Did he get
they
your
all
feet?
got scooted out the door and I locked them out of the room.
Oh shit! Invader Zim got on Netflix.
Oh, is it on there now? Yay!
Did he get your feet? Is that what happened?
No, this time, one of them got the only food I have left that I'm allowed to eat in the house. And, it was on the desk, and I didn't even know. The kitten just kind of walked across the desk and fucking started trying to eat it and threw it on the floor. So,
Didn't even actually utilize it. It was just like...
yeah, didn't even actually eat it, wanted to eat it, threw it on the floor. So now nobody can have it. Like...
Like fuck whatever this weird tasting thing is.
Fuck this shit. I'm really sad now because I'm pretty hungry.
You know, I was watching some clips from what was that show? Justice League Action. That came out like I think it was last year or 2 years ago, whichever one. It didn't last long, even though it was kind of fun. And they had this thing where the Red Lantern cat.
Oh, that cat.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I forget
Drax,
his name.
I think.
No, not that's not it. It's something like that though. But anyway, he fools he fools Plastic Man into getting into the Watchtower, and he starts wilding out, and he's like knocking shit. He's like doing shit, but Crypto's getting blamed for it because Crypto's trying to stop him. So he'll knock shit over, turn shit over, do wrong things and shit like that, and then so they end up putting Crypto in a red sun cell. So he loses his powers. And the Red Lantern cat would have got away with it if it hadn't been for Streaky coming back from a mention. Streaky the super cat. So it was a pet episode, which is fine.
Wow. That's cute.
Yep. I'm so
What was
tempted.
that?
Wrong button.
Nope.
Okay, Wayne's supposed to be the boomer here, not you, Bray. Crying out loud.
Yeah, you're supposed to be a guy who knows what he's doing.
I mean, like you have a day of doing friggin' customer and technical support, then you just turn your brain off because I want to think about shit after having to think about shit all day.
Yeah.
Mike knows how many fucking cases I deal with today.
Yeah. And plus, you're probably still recovering from the Karen from the other day.
That was more of a comedic situation to me than anything. Like, I couldn't even be mad at that situation. She was in chat just trying to get a fucking lawyer on us because we don't have the color she wants. I don't care.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, it was great. Yeah, he was getting.
Oh, after stream, I'll talk to you about that.
Yeah,
Oh.
he can't talk too much about it in public because just some,
Yeah.
But just the overview is that the lawyers were threatened to get involved and dumb shit like that. Yeah.
It was the dumbest
Wow.
shit.
Mm-hmm. And then was it yesterday?
Because
you ran
we didn't have a color of a product, under a $100 product that we didn't have her color of.
Yeah. and then on top of that she felt she was tricked into buying it.
Yeah, she was lured into buying it, but I keep on wanting to just go ham on the story, but I can't.
Yeah. So we'll just leave it that there was some wilding going on, and
Wow.
and just figure just imagine how a Karen would act in that situation,
Yeah.
and leave it at that. And then you had the Mexican yesterday, day before. Josh.
No, most of the Mexicans we talk. Oh well, I mean, there was a Mexican that I felt sad about because.
Well, yeah. I mean, they weren't like wilding or anything. You were just like, how do I tell this person? Sorry, Mr. Mexican man. The Red Lantern cat was named Dexstar.
Yeah.
That was a very sad story, how he got his Red Lantern ring. Essentially, he had, I'll tell the story. He was a homeless cat, so he was a street cat, and he found somebody who actually adopted him, and he loved this person because the person adopted him and everything. And then that person gets killed, and then they kill the cat. Bless you. And
My bad.
and they, like I said, they killed the cat, and then the cat's rage was so great because they killed his owner that the Red Lantern ring came to him. And then he proceeded to kill the people who killed his owner. So
Yeah.
Now, the one notable thing about Dexstar is that he's the only character that can think straight while pissed the fuck off.
Yep.
Nice.
Because he's a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
So he can wear the Red Lantern ring and think straight while, under the effects.
He is one of
Which is bullshit because in real life, cats ain't fucking thinking straight when they're fucking pissed. Jesus fuck.
and what's really cool about Dexstar also is like he's Atrocitus' lieutenant. It's just like it's just funny that one of the big villains in DC is a fucking house cat. And see, that was the thing, because like before, like they were theorizing it, like when they first showed the different Lantern Corps and stuff, and they showed the Red Lantern and they showed the cat, and they're like, "Oh, what planet is Dexstar from?" Then you find out Earth. It's just a normal, like stray cat. Like, let's say we need a crossover comic where the villain can only be defeated by handing Bruce Banner a Red Lantern ring, preferably against an army of robot werewolves or something. Also, every night he returns to the remains of his owner and cries himself to sleep. Yeah, it's so sad.
They didn't need to add that part. Jeez.
Yeah, he does do that though. It was very sad. The Injustice 2 Atrocitus uses Dexstar as his character-specific power moves. That's awesome. I think Dexstar is the only villain where people say, "Don't kill him."
Right?
He's been through enough. He's just a boy. Don't kill him. Okay. We've had fun. Now let's get down to the nitty gritty. So Mulan's been wilding out.
We have topics?
Yeah, we got a topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you heard, Josh, but Mulan's been wilding out.
I saw a little bit of that, like, the actress is supporting the Hong Kong police?
Yeah, the Hong Kong Popo. Mm-hmm. Sure is.
The ones that have been, like, fucking up some protesters. Like, I've seen some pretty gruesome pictures of some violence on some protesters. Holy shit.
So I'm gonna go over this article, and then we're gonna discuss, the Chinese and how they have never committed atrocities ever in the history of ever. Just, we'll go through.
Yeah.
Hong Kong protesters call for boycott of Disney's Mulan after actress Liu Yifei shows support for Hong Kong Popo. They said police. I just, Protesters.
You gotta spice it up a little.
Yeah, protesters in Hong Kong are calling for a boycott of Disney's live-action Mulan after the lead actress, Crystal Liu. What's her name? Now it's Crystal Liu, whatever. Also known as
that
Liu
might be
Yifei.
her English
Okay,
name.
yeah, that's a real English name. Also known as Liu Yifei, showed support for the Hong Kong police. According to a translation by CNN, Yifei posted on the Chinese social media platform. It is not called Weibo.
What?
Or Weibo. It's called
What?
Weibo, but still.
Oh. That's fucked up.
Posted on social media platform was Weibo now. I'm going to tell you that. On the social media platform Weibo, writing, "I support the Hong Kong police. You can all attack me now. What a shame for Hong Kong."
Wow. What a shame for her to be dumb enough to do that when movies hasn't come out yet, even.
Yeah, it's like, your movie that's about China, that might do well in the Chinese market. Probably not a good idea to, cause a controversy right before that. Chinese actress, star of upcoming Disney blockbuster Mulan, shows support for Hong Kong police on Weibo, tweeting at People's Daily Post. Weibo shows that she is an iPhone user. I'm like, I like how that has to be part of the, tweet too. It's
Wow.
like, guys, she also has an iPhone, just, FYI. I was like,
Just FYI, she did it from an iPhone. Oh, man.
I'm just saying, All right, let's see. Where was we? Oh, yeah. Following Yifei's post, a number of folks call for a boycott of company Disney. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see, yeah. Disney's Mulan actress supports police brutality and oppression in Hong Kong. I was fucking... You just filmed a character who is supposed to stand against oppression in his raw form. Pound sand.
Right?
That's, I was going to say, that's like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoops.
She lives in America. Her family is in...
Yeah.
Living and working in the free West while supporting an oppressive regime at home. Hong Kongers are fighting for the same rights you already have, and your response is basically, well, fuck them. Shame on you.
If saying she supports brutality and authoritarianism, is she a feminist too?
I mean, it sounds like.
Right?
Yeah. CNN reports that Liu did receive quite a bit of support on Weibo. I'm sorry, I just love the name of that.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah. They reported nearly all the comments on her post echoed support for the Hong Kong police in Beijing. No kidding. Mike.
They get 50 cents if they post on the internet.
But I was going to say, in China, on a Chinese social media platform, probably ran by the Chinese, that she got 100% support. That's amazing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just showing how much support there is for the Chinese Communist Party for the Tiananmen Square didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. Liu is not
Nothing
the only
in particular happened.
Liu is not the only celebrity to weigh in on the protest. Jackie Chan did an interview with Chinese CCTV where he states,
"Oh no!
I feel the pride of being a Chinese everywhere. The 5-star red flag is respected worldwide." I don't know about all that, Jackie.
Oh, no,
Well, Jackie's
man.
always been a fucking commie. I mean, I'm just, that's not like new. That's not like.
But I don't know.
But it's like not new shit. He's always been a. He don't say it over here. He's smart about that. Like, here in the States, he'll never like say that shit. But over there, he's always like, yay the party.
Well, yeah, it's.
But it might be self-preservation.
It's another one of
too.
those that he's been in the public eye enough, like
Mm-hmm.
over here and everywhere else, to pick his words maybe a little more carefully, I guess.
And like I said, he might be,
Right.
just pulling the weight too, because he knows what could happen.
He's ass covering.
Yeah. Pop star Dennis Ho, great, love that name, spoke in front of the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva in favor of the protesters, saying that the Vienna Declaration guarantees democracy and human rights, yet in Hong Kong, these are under serious attack. True.
There you go.
Now, there was some talking about, like, people were talking about, because how this all kind of started. Well, how this all started recently was this proposal where they were going to have an extradition bill where that people who are living in Hong Kong would, if they got like caught like committing crimes or something, they would have to serve their time in mainland China, which is not only a no, but a big hell no.
Yeah, like why?
The Chinese harvest the Chinese harvest the organs of all their prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
So it's essentially a death sentence if they get sent to any of their prisons.
Wow. Yeah. Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Do we know this for a fact?
Oh, yeah.
Every time a prisoner is executed, they will harvest his organs and then sell them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess if the prisoner is already going to be executed, then I guess it's good not to be wasteful. But
you got to see that like they went in on like a burglary charge or something. Like, it wasn't like they.
Yeah, that's.
And plus like it's kind of like you jaywalked. Now you're going to prison for jaywalking. Oops.
Also, you get mysteriously beaten the fuck in the prison. Oh well, you're dead. Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate.
That's
that's
very unfortunate that this person with the right blood type died at this moment.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's that bad.
So they all get Clintoned.
Mm-hmm.
Or suicided.
Yeah, they all get Epsteined in Minecraft.
Yeah. Yeah, I see some of this stuff just seems so like fictional.
Barbaric.
You don't think don't think that there's no way that crap goes on right now.
Well, it do.
So, I always associate it a lot times with fiction, and that shit's still happening. It's fucking creepy.
And here's what's unique. This is the unique thing about Hong Kong and why they resisted that. For 100 years, Hong Kong was under British rule.
Yeah. And
under British rule, they were guaranteed the same rights as British citizens. So, you're looking at a people...
Which isn't much anymore, but at the
time, they were...
China. Yeah.
Freedom of speech, freedom to, protest, all that good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, they had an agreement with the Chinese that after 100 years that they would give it back to the Chinese. The problem is, during that period, Chinese became uber communists.
Oh, boy.
And one of the the first thing they did when they took over was was implementing, they tried... What's weird about it is they tried to implement a system that was kind of still reliant on capitalism, but also trying to enforce communist dogma.
Yeah.
So whereas they, as far as trade, it was kind of the same because Hong Kong is like a city state, right? It's just one big area. It's just it's a city and it's a state. And one of the things they do is like that whole protesting thing. Like before, you could just freely assemble. Well, now you have to sign a paper and say we're going to do it on X day, and then you got to be approved before you're allowed to do it.
Wow. And they're definitely one that's not going to approve you protesting specific shit. I bet.
Yeah. And so that's why a lot of Hong Kong citizens were not very happy about the takeover, right?
Yeah.
Many of them wanted the British to either stay or to just renege on the deal and hand it to like the U.S. or something, you know?
Yeah, it'd be like, y'all can have them now. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can guarantee the Chinese would have not liked that. I mean, they didn't like the British being there. You think they would have liked us being there? I mean, I think there was like even talk, like some of them like said, just like, you know, make it part of Taiwan or something like that. That was talks about that at one point. But remember, the Chinese don't recognize Taiwan because, you know, Taiwan is basically the real Chinese government in exile.
Yeah.
I mean, that's right, Mike? Am I correct? Mike?
Where'd he go?
Oh, he might be doing things.
What things is he doing? Drugs?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Why wouldn't he? They're also.
No, he's Canadian. He's doing poutine.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ew.
Ew. What about fries and gravy and cheese? Yeah. What about that? Sounds bad. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. In all honesty.
The gravy part.
Gravy looks so good. You have no idea. I'll drink gravy.
Oh my
I have no idea.
God. Y'all nasty.
Just kind of funny.
Rip Mike.
Yeah, I see. It was yeah. I saw Raptro say, "I can't believe Mike is fucking dead." Poor Mike. But yeah. But like I said, you know, Taiwan is the government that was kicked out of China, and they're basically the Chinese government in exile.
Wow.
And that's why China will not recognize Taiwan, because they feel for one thing, they feel Taiwan belongs to them. And the only thing that's really stopping them is the Pacific Fleet from doing anything about it.
Well, and the fact that they're essentially everyone is like, oh my God, the Chinese have such a big army. They have such a big army. No, what they have is a bunch of warlords that are all sort of loosely related to each other.
Mm-hmm. And those but they call those warlords generals. Just to you know, when you go look at a meeting of the party in China sometime, if they actually show pictures of it, you'll have Xi Jinping like sitting in the middle, and so he's surrounded by a bunch of people in uniforms. Those are those quote generals. And nothing is guaranteeing them. The only thing keeping them from wilding out on each other is that they just stay out of each other's way.
What? You broke up.
I said, the only thing that's keeping them from wilding out on each other is they stay out of each other's way.
How do I say this? It's not communism that fucked up the Chinese, however. It was usually you have to go back to about the Manchu era, where you have all the Manchu dynasty that conquered all of China, and then forced them all to wear the queue. And if they didn't wear the queue, they would murder each other. Now, then you have this. Hey, let me grab my fucking notes here. I actually have to.
Rapture said this structure of government made more sense than Romance of the Free Kingdoms.
That's kind of partially it.
Yeah.
Every couple hundreds of years, the Chinese all kill all their smart people.
Wow.
Like,
wasn't there a point in time they were like just killing people because they had glasses and shit?
No, that's Cambodians.
Oh, okay.
The Khmer Rouge. So about 400 years ago, they got conquered by barbarians that were called the Manchus, and they're the last dynasty in China. So they ruled with an iron fist, in that everyone had to be watched by everyone else. So that sets the stage for all these families that are willing to screw everyone outside of their own family out of everything, just so that they would be protected from these Manchus. These fucking
Yeah.
Manchurians. These were they're that sets the stage for them. So then there's about 100 years. China got fucked over repeatedly, over and over again. That's the century of humiliation. So you got the Taiping Rebellion, which a guy who claimed to be the reincarnation of Jesus Christ ended up like started a rebellion against the Manchus, and then 50 million Chinamen died.
Damn.
Wow, Jesus. That's sounds like a lot of people.
Yeah, it's quite a few.
So, then the 20th century was really fucked up with like Unit 731 and the Nanking Massacre, but that's small fry compared to how China happened. So, the Chinese psyche at this point is in tatters because you had people that were just coming off of famines, getting massacred, and surrounded by like a Manchurian secret police that were obsessed with hair.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to like survive, you basically had to backstab your parents.
Mm.
So everything that happened during Emperor Mao's time, where like 40, 50 million people, Chinamen died because of famines, that was small fry to literally everything about 300 to 400 years before that.
Mm-hmm. You mean Chairman Mao?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or Emperor Mao, but still.
Well, he didn't declare himself emperor, so, you know. But he might as well have been.
So you have the Chinese people that are constantly in a state of perpetual fear,
mm-hmm.
and they have to raise their children to be afraid of each other and afraid of themselves, afraid of their family, afraid of their mothers. And you get this society that's kind of fucked up. Now you stick this godless ideology on top of it,
mm-hmm.
and it just drives it into the fucking ground even further. Like. The worst thing wasn't even the Tiananmen Square in 1989.
Mm-hmm. What you're going to get to?
They constantly try to round up their Muslim populations and massacre them.
Mm-hmm. Not too fond of the Christians either.
No, they massacre Christians as much as they possibly can, considering how much a single rebellion cost. Filled 50 million people.
And don't forget the Tibetans. They don't like them either.
To be fair, the Tibetans fucked up in that they let themselves get sold.
It's true, but yeah,
it's still terrible.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, somebody in there said, what did they say? Let me look at that again. We are currently entering China's second century of humiliation.
Yeah.
Oh, it's China has this thing where they will like invade other countries, lose like half of their forces, and then declare victory.
Mm-hmm.
Like after Vietnam, we lost a lot of men over in Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
So they sent a force after Vietnam, after the Americans pulled out to Vietnam in order to take it over,
mm-hmm.
and they promptly lost like several million soldiers in the invasion attempt.
Mm-hmm.
And they pulled back and they declared victory.
What?
Despite
taking 10-1 losses. That is.
Yeah,
they lost 10.
That's the irony of the Vietnam War. That was a war we could have easily won.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was that Washington wanted to dictate the war on the ground and not let the generals
mm-hmm.
do it.
Mm.
Politicians. Yeah, that's why politicians shouldn't run wars.
That, and they thought that if eventually we threw enough of our people at their people, they would run out of people.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't run out of people, and we're like, fuck.
Yeah. Because even then in the 60s and 70s, we were better equipped, we were better trained, and all that stuff. It was just dumb decisions.
We were fighting the wrong war. Like for like 10 whole years or more, we were fighting the wrong war, essentially.
Yeah. Because the whole thing was like, we're trying to stop, we're trying to stop the commies, and got to stop the commies. We got to stop the commies, and the biggest problem was it was not a war that were officially declared by the U.S. Mm-hmm. We were kind of scapegoated into it, essentially, because the French couldn't handle their shit. Big surprise.
Yeah, we kind of came in and filled the vacuum of
Yeah.
it.
But yeah.
So let's see.
But yeah, Tiananmen Square. A thing that never happened. Something that's never ever happened in the history of ever. There is no such thing as Tiananmen Square if you live in China.
That's so weird.
What it started out as it was a peaceful protest. There was no wilding. There was no throwing anything. It was literally just like, we're going to sit here in Tiananmen Square and we're going to chant quietly, sing songs, and that's it. But they were doing it for, because they said, they wanted more rights. That's all it was. They said, can we chill on the, dictatorship stuff, guys? Can we, please? And of course it was growing, but like I said, there was no wilding. Literally no wilding out by the citizens. They were all chilling. They were having a good time. And then the tanks rolled in.
Mm-hmm.
And the, what was the weapons that the Chinese used? What kind of guns did they have? All I know is that they're actually banned by the Geneva Convention.
Wow.
Yeah. Like the Hague will, if another country used them in wartime, the Hague would say that country committed war crimes.
And then everyone would join in and beat the shit out of them, because that's what you're supposed to do with war crimes. Is you're supposed to punish the fuck out of them as soon as they happen, with overwhelming and unrelenting force. Let me go see what they used at this Tiananmen Square.
It was like I said, it was a certain kind of weapon that was banned, internationally. Just to read the chat here, have you guys ever heard the green text where Anon was getting killed by a Chinese cheater in GTA Online? So he spammed Tiananmen Square in the chat, and the user instantly got disconnected.
That's messed up.
Yeah. No, it wasn't.
It's
I mean,
oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, but yeah, it was basically kind of was. They did use a hollow point ammunition.
Wow.
But it was not called hollow point, but it was expanding rounds. So essentially, pretty much was hollow point. But yeah, Josh, what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that GTA green text reminded me of when people were getting folks banned from Rainbow Six Siege by getting them to say the Spanish word for black.
Oh man,
that's messed up.
You find anything, Mike?
I'm still looking.
Okay.
Let's see.
Now, here's the thing: when they started to go in and they were killing all these people, the Chinese will admit that 10,000 people got killed during this. That's what they. Now, this is China, and that's what they admitted to. Just Google Chinese expansion shooting. You'll find the ammo. That's what.
Okay.
Yeah. I know if you grew up during that time, or if everybody I'm sure has seen the scene where the guy is standing in front of the tank.
Yeah.
And the feed cuts before that, and they said and to this day, we don't know what happened to that guy, but we can assume what happened. Brave guy. Give him credit. Brave guy staring down the barrel of a tank.
Yep.
Give him all the credit in the world, but I can assume what happened. But yeah, and that's what we're afraid is going to happen in Hong Kong, because there's going to be a point where China is going to crack down if this continues.
But they're already sending in
That's the scary
all sorts
part.
Of shit.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
They're sending them in, so they're spreading them out all through the city, and then there's gonna be a crackdown. 10,000 people got Epstein, all suicide by barbells. Tiananmen Square was a famous gym area. God damn it. Hello, Nero. It's good to see you. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I've seen a whole lot of I would boycott this movie, except I didn't plan on watching it anyway. Like, so much of that. And I'm like, yeah, especially when they've already announced they took out everything that made it, like,
There
neat.
was no dragons.
Yeah, no dragon,
There's not gonna
no songs.
no songs. I mean, how can you have a Mulan song without I'll make a man out of you? Like
Right, but they could have gotten the Jackie Chan version where he sings it in Chinese.
yeah.
Like, that would have been neat.
Disney live action flicks have been really like weird in how and what they chose to adapt from the other ones. So I was going on a bit of a Jungle Book spree because there was that Mowgli film, which was I think DreamWorks
Yeah.
animated one, and I really liked that one. That was a really good story. They went very different directions with it. But then the Disney live action one, I had to watch it because it came out about the same time. And I went through 40 to 50 minutes of the movie, and there was no music. There was no song. And I'm like, okay, there's no songs here. Then all of a sudden, just about at the halfway point, they start singing.
Oh.
I'm like, well, okay. It's Baloo and Mowgli floating down the river singing that one song.
Oh,
that's where the music starts.
Yeah.
And then they have the names of the songs are escaping me at the moment. But the
Bare Necessities is the one you're thinking about. The first one.
You got Bare Necessities in there, and then you got the I Want to Be Like You.
Yeah.
I was the monkey.
And that's
one.
it.
Yeah, the monkey.
And that's
one.
it.
That's all
there
they
was
had.
2 songs in the whole fucking movie,
and
the first one came so late in the movie that you were already expecting there to be no musicals, and then it just, I want to be like you, all of a sudden starts, and I'm like, well, okay, it's a cool song, but it's still not as good as the original.
Well, it's just like when we were somebody when you remember that girl what's her name? Let me look up her name real quick just so I get it right.
Okay, so it looks like the Chinese steel core ammo was banned by the Clintons because of how it was made.
Oh.
Made out of steel core, copper jacket, brass casing.
Yeah.
And they classified it as armor-piercing ammunition.
So very deadly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I was gonna say when the Chinese they admitted to 10,000, our estimates put it closer to about 1 million.
Yeah.
And remember, literally no pictures of this at all. You can find some, but
they've been scoured.
Yeah.
Jeez.
The party does not
Because
anything get escaped.
I mean,
yeah.
I'll put it this way, and I don't agree with this guy because I think he's kind of a nutcase sometimes. But Glenn Beck said the other day, which I said I do have to agree with. He said, "Don't think in the day of social media that they can't get away with it."
Let's see, Tencent owns a shit ton of Reddit, and they're already hiding Reddit posts.
Yeah.
Essentially, anywhere Tencent owns, the Chinese government owns as well.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
The reason for that is because in order,
I'm gonna make it very clear. When you hear the words Chinese and company, replace company with government. Because it's the same thing. Just to be clear on that.
Because there's no way in China to make money unless you're a part of the Chinese government or at least friends with one of the party members. So Tencent, it owns a shit ton of Epic, and they're trying to. Okay, so you know all the problems that everyone's having with the Epic Game Store. All that design problems is to prevent Chinese card thieves.
That's why
every problem you can think of. No shopping cart.
No shopping cart.
You can't use missing a lot of regional pricing.
Yep.
Let's see.
And foreign currency support.
Yeah.
Foreign currency support. Let's see. What else? Using the same card on multiple accounts. That'll get that payment locked out. That's
why I had to mark
clicked for me.
Yeah.
That's when it clicked for me. I was like, they're trying to prevent Chinese card thieves.
Speaking of Tencent, though, did you know that not a lot of people know that they have a heavy hand in movie producing as well.
Yep.
And you know that all-American movie
Yeah.
Top Gun?
Yep.
The
Oh,
Tencent
yeah.
coming out. They're one
Yeah.
of the big producers on it.
Yep. Tencent's involved in that too, and that's why the flag was removed in it.
Yeah, that's why his jacket was changed.
Yep. Because wasn't it like a Japanese flag or something?
Japanese flag and the Taiwan flag.
And they were both removed to like a UN flag and something else. Yeah.
Some sort of made up flag.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like I said, don't anybody from mainland China, don't trust them.
Oh my goodness. There's a saying in Chinese, but that you get what you pay for. Unless you pay like a shit ton for something, you will get exactly what they figure that you deserve. And the laws protecting you in China are nil.
Yeah, dude, no. I was watching some fucking vloggers, travel vloggers going around China, and they don't even get like the good stuff out of their factories. So like when there's cell phone runs and electronic manufacturing runs, the good shit gets sold out of country. The crappy shit, the bad shit, the ones with defects, the horrible stuff, that goes to the Chinese people to buy.
Yep. The defectives and shit like that. Like
Unless you pay a shit ton to get the American stuff, which falls in line with that saying. Like, I was reading this story involving a Chinese steel sourcer for a company. He was warning everyone not to learn fucking Mandarin because you will be expected to deal with the Chinese, and he hates dealing with them. So they would do everything they can to screw over every little thing. They would misread things, so they would say like, "Oh, well, you said 16th of an inch. Well, we only can do 16th of a millimeter." Or the other way around, and they would send in like they would fail to package things. They're god awful people to deal with on a business level. Because the one thing that that these Chinese corporations can do, as soon as they get sued, all they have to do is bankrupt the company. Your case gets thrown out of court. And then they can just build the company up again with the money they stole and do it all over again to somebody else.
China is pretty big on and I hate using this term because I've heard it so many times recently and it just almost makes me gag, but I will use it in this case. They are the king of schemes and scams. The whole thing with the Chinese government is to try to put one over on everybody else. And honestly, that's the reason why America, the West, but especially America, has always been the big check against them.
Because the Chinese, okay, so like they've been buying land in other countries, and the Chinese military are starting to put bases in other countries as well. Like,
because that's the thing with this whole. You've probably heard that thing about Greenland, or Greenland, how you want to say it?
Yeah.
Where they said Trump wants to buy Greenland. LOL, what a moron! But what they don't tell you is the fact that China wanted to put like 3 or 4 airports in Greenland recently.
Because the party in that was elected in 2013 has just bent over backwards for the Chinese.
But but Greenland is still beholden to Denmark, and luckily for that means we still have influence. So, I mean,
somehow.
So when you hear this, like, oh, Trump's thinking about buying Greenland, I was like, well, this is actually a very strategic move when you really think about it.
There's a shit ton of mineral assets there. There's thermal assets there. There's generally a friendly population.
Just kind of socialist, but they don't know any better. Is the way I look at it. But I would support Cab as governor of Greenland, though.
Hey, there'd be no other way.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only thing that could get Greenland like love and freedom would be a Florida man. Don't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me read the chat real quick. Also, did you hear that that they are perpetually offended or bitching about Astral Chain because you play as a cop? One weirdo said it was one weirdo said playing as a cop isn't quote cyberpunk.
Blade Runner.
What?
Yeah, Blade Runner, Deus Ex, Tank Police, RoboCop, Psychopaths.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
So yeah,
Andy Griffith, the show, the game, the show.
dude, I so want to see a cyberized fucking Barney Fife. That would be amazing.
I just want to make a Grand Theft Auto mod where it's just fucking Mayberry.
It's fucking Mayberry.
You got an RP.
Yeah, you got an RP. It's Mayberry. Barney is a cyborg, but he still only gets one bullet.
Well, golly, Sheriff, I didn't know that.
Come on, Andy. Let me kill all humans. now, Barn. Now, Barn, we can't have you doing that now. We're supposed to be protecting these folks. We can't just go around killing them. You understand that? Aw, geez, Andy. Gosh, I'm really scared of how good that Andy Griffith impression was. Well, he is from North Carolina. I think we're kind of in dialect DNA. I think we're kind of close,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Cyborg Barney Fife would still get one bullet, but only the one bullet, and he'd have to keep it in his chest compartment. Hold on, let me get my bullet, and he's fumbling around to get it. Let's kill Barney. Don't kill Barney.
That's not very cyberpunk of you.
Yeah. Just because he wants to kill all humans doesn't mean he's not a nice guy.
That's not very breathtaking of you, bro.
What did he mean by this? I just looked in the Streamlink sharing chat. I'm gonna put it on screen.
Oh, amazing.
Now the question is that Gomer behind?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Only Andy can judge me.
Only Thug Fife.
Fucking Opie and Aunt B.
Yeah, and it said this gun kind of obscures it, but it's nip it in the bud.
Perfect, thank you.
You gotta nip it in the bud.
Yep. Some like some country band like a few years ago did a song called "Nip It in the Bud," and it was about this. It was about Barney Fife. Is that gangster Don Knotts? Yeah. I just want
He's
to.
looking pretty good for someone who survived the Black Mesa event.
Mm-hmm. I just want an indestructible katana, superhuman reflexes, super strength and speed. I like melee combat. I mean, that's not too much to ask, in all honesty. Sounds like somebody wants to be Batman. With a little bit of Superman. With just a sprinkling, just a little, shake it on there. Well, this got kind of awkward. I don't know how we got on Barney Fife, but
But somehow it came from China.
Oh,
yeah.
Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Cyberpunk. Yeah.
We wanted a Cyberpunk Barney Fife.
Yeah. Go read Altered Carbon for good
I didn't
Cyberpunk.
ask for this, Andy.
Yeah. Golly, ain't no golly. That was Gomer. Gomer did the golly stuff, didn't he? What was I going to say? Oh yeah, there was something was brought up in the chat about another Vic Mignogna lie that another lie that got debunked.
Oh gee.
Another dude bro from Funimation, works at Funimation. There's two of these, Mike. You're gonna like this. I'm gonna give you two things now. I'm gonna give you the most recent first, and give you the other one. Okay. The one from recently, which was from yesterday, was this guy commented on an article to Anime News Network, paragon of journalism there. And he said that he was at a convention in 2000, whatever, I forgot the exact year, and that he was attending with another voice actress and Vic, and she said she didn't want to sit next to Vic, and he said, okay, I'll sit in between you. And he says, he told Vic, you need to sit over here, and Vic's like, and kind of like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. And he was gonna go sit next to her, and he says, no, seriously, like trying to act big tough man in the interview,
Yeah, and he said that she said that Vic made her very uncomfortable, but. Mm-hmm.
But then you see the screen. Then you see the actual pictures from the event.
Yeah.
Guess where Vic is sitting? Next to the girl.
In the middle. Yeah, he's in the middle even.
Yep. So the guy here like totally lied about, the whole seating arrangement thing. So my question is, what else did he lie about?
Everything. Come on now.
Now here's the biggie one, Mike. The person who originally started this whole bullshit, this recent bullshit with Vic, back in January, calling him a pedophile and all that bullshit. It turns out that she was told, hello Midnight Images, good to see you, buddy. She was told by another person, but it was not about Vic, it was about somebody else.
Yep.
And that somebody else is an actual, has actually been...
An actual pedophile.
Has actually like been caught with the underage women. And then on top of that, he also dated Monica Rial. I'm just waiting for the blood pressure to boil a little bit there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like basically the entire bullshit started over a comment about the wrong person?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So they were nailing Vic to the cross. She accidentally
called him Vic, and thought it was Vic.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody was like, "Hey, let's
just fuck Vic up, I guess."
Yeah, and but the thing is, they've put their attorneys have put this in record, these statements. So Vic's lawyer's going to have fun with these. He's got till September 6th to get us all lined up to get it all thrown out. Oh, and also like on top of that, like they keep trying to like put in evidence even though the time limit has expired. They keep trying to put in new statements and stuff like that.
Do they think that like this shit is like it is in the TV shows? Like, I got a surprise witness, and we have new uncovered evidence we would like to submit as Exhibit N. Like, no, you can't. You can't do that. There's a whole evidence submission.
There's a whole process. Yeah.
Everybody reviews everybody else's stuff, and you just can't be like, but haha, now I've got the smoking gun. Like, no, you should have had the smoking gun before you fucking went to court, you dumb bitch.
I have the smoking gun, and then as soon as like there you go, and then as soon as they bring out their smoking gun, the person, and that's another thing. You ever notice like all these people, most of them are like, I heard something from somebody that this happened.
Yeah, pretty much all of it is like, I heard third hand.
Mm-hmm.
That means it's true.
And then, like, the fact that Monica using one, some guy saying, like, oh, yeah, he was there. And he's like, no, I wasn't. And,
wow.
And of course, law Twitter, because, the law firm of Twit and
yeah.
They're all about, like, they're all saying, like, well, he didn't say that it didn't happen. And, like, dude, according to the law, that's exactly what that means.
Yeah.
She said they witnessed. He said, no, it didn't. That's it. the law firm of Dumb and Bitch. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think I still prefer that over Twitting.
Yeah.
Well, that's just making fun of the idiots who think, that they're Twitter lawyers, that they know what they're talking about. When every one of these Twitter lawyers have looked like morons. I mean, look at old Greg Doucette. Head literally shaped like a penis.
God damn it.
Like, he put out a tweet the other day. He's like, "Oh, after I got done with court cases today, I'm out, doing some charity stuff and blah blah blah." And I was like, "Spoiler alert: he didn't do anything in court." Whoever, yeah, dickhead do shit. I mean, this is a guy that he thinks Twitter engagements are more important than views on YouTube.
You can get a Twitter engagement from someone wandering past your post and kind of looking at it. That's not.
If I do a fast scroll on my Twitter account, right? If I'm scrolling through and I fast scroll back to the top, that's going to count as an engagement, even though I may not have seen it.
Right?
That's not how that's how engagements work. It doesn't mean that for example, I guess I'll use Myra's Twitter for example. If it says Myra's Twitter got 1 million engagements, that's because of all of us retweeting it and stuff, that it was on screen somewhere 1 million times.
Yeah.
That does not mean people were interacting with it, And this guy thinks that it's like, oh, but look at all the engagement I get on Twitter. I'm like, congratulations. you've
that's equivalent of exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's literally that's literally you walking down the street and saying hello to somebody. That's all there really is. Whereas somebody like Nick Rekieta can get
I walked into the store and flopped my dick around, but hey, I got engagement. Nobody liked it, but I got engagement.
Whereas you got 12, you got at the height 13,000 people watching Nick Rekieta on a live stream. 13,000 actual people watching him on a live stream.
Oh, I'm sure those are just Russian bots.
Oh yeah, Oh, and the fact is, it's they've got some. I'm laughing, but they actually got people that are having to transcribe Nick Rekieta's streams.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? He says now he has to start the streams by saying he's to the person who has to transcribe this stream, I'm sorry. Because they're just doing their job. They don't know any better,
Yeah.
And he said the best part is they're doing this and I can say, and what did he say last night? He said, and I can say that Ron Toye is a super cuck who likes to get the snack trays while his girlfriend is being railed by Tyrone.
And they have to write it down.
Yep, and they have to write that down. It's great. Because Ron has it in his head that he's going to sue Nick Rekieta after this trial is over. And Nick says, you do realize for you to be able to sue me, you're going to have to lose your case. Because if your case gets dismissed, that means that I was wrong about everything. And that nothing I said, that means nothing you said was defamation. So that means nothing I said was defamation.
The great Jewish.
Rabbinical law. Gotta love it. It's amazing that Ron is dumb enough to think he will have any money left after the case. Well, he doesn't have any money during the case, so I don't know where he's going to get this money to do all this suing. It's Is there anything else, guys, y'all want to talk about? Because I'm pretty much ready to wrap up. Ain't nothing else going on.
I can't think of anything.
Damn.
I know, we actually got done early.
Yeah, wow, that's
Piper said, I can go to bed on time. What the fuck?
holy shit.
I will point out, in the link below, in the string, links below, if you could, I have links to Door Kickers and Ardana, and I would really appreciate you guys if y'all could check those out. Even if you can't support them, if you could at least, like, if you got social media, like, share them on social media and stuff, because they're getting into the low end of their days and they're not funded yet. So yeah, Door Kickers and Ardana, if you could just, like, share those around, that would be really appreciative, because those guys are getting near the end of their campaign. And I'd really like to see them get to fully funded so they can get that last little boost from being featured on the main site. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Do it.
Please
Do it
help.
now.
Please help.
Do it now.
Yeah.
Get to the link. Do it now.
Yes, please. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed yourselves tonight. And if everything turns out all right, as usual, y'all have a great weekend. We will see y'all on Monday. And yeah. I should have just ended it right there.
Bye-bye.
Bye.